I'm ready.
What's going on, fellas? Welcome to the Locker Room Rant. I'm your host, John V. With me to my left is Nick Akladis. And down here below is our beloved friend, long lost, Tony. How are you, brother? What's going on, fellas?
I'm so pissed off. All I wanted to do was play sound effects, but I don't have those capabilities over here because I'm not the one. I'm not the one running the channel anymore, so I don't have the sound effect capabilities. And I had like this whole thing planned out.
That's all right. We'll save it for next week. This is kind of just like easing us back into it.
So rest in peace, Dikembe Mutombo and Pete Rose, right?
Yep. Not too long ago, James Earl Jones.
Yeah. Well, like we said, rest in peace, Pete Rose, Dikembe. It's the world is not the same.
Tony is not necessarily the impressionist, but he always had a great Dikembe Mutombo impression.
I was thinking about that when I heard that he died.
Did you do your Dikembe Mutombo impression?
Nick really loved my Dikembe Mutombo.
Like, what is like a scenario where you could do your Dikembe? Like go Dikembe Mutombo ordering a pack of cigarettes or something from a gas station.
I don't like the scenario.
All right, well, create your own scenario.
We'll have to. Do we have like a chat and everything going on? I don't see anything now.
We do have a chat.
Logged in.
Nick, it might be.
Let me try to log in.
Well, all right, Nick. Well, where do you want to go with this? Week 1. You want to recap week 1 through week 4, or just go straight to week 4? If we're gonna do week 1 through 4, we need to wrap it up.
No, we're not gonna do week 1 through 4. That'd be ridiculous. That'd take way too long. Instead of like recapping week 4, let's just talk about where we think this season is at this point. So,
okay. Well, I would say that 32 teams are suffering from many, many injuries. I mean, the entire league is just the IR on almost every franchise has studs on both sides of the ball on IR. So if you want to go ahead and bore us with the Browns, go ahead. Let us know who you're missing, how it's affected you.
Well, I mean, so here's the thing. I always said there's one guy that is of the utmost importance on the Browns. Now, we had a lot of injuries last year.
Not going to do that again.
Not going to do that again. So the one guy that wasn't injured last year and who is injured right now, but he'll be back probably next week, is David Njoku. I think he's the most important person on the Browns. I think without him, the Browns literally can't win. Now, that being said, we have a whole bunch of other injuries that also are contributing to our lackluster play. I am kind of weirded out by how the defense is playing, because the defense isn't that injured at all. And yet we're surrendering a bunch of yards, a bunch of points. And the thing is, we seem to get our act together like midway through the third quarter of every game. Like, we're able to shut teams down after they've already scored 20 points.
That's poor coaching.
Really good thing.
That's poor preparation and poor coaching. That's a poor game plan. If you can't get your guys ready from the start of the whistle to the end of the whistle, then I don't know what to tell you. You guys need to revisit a lot.
Yeah, we do need to revisit. That being said, this is the fourth week. This is the fourth week of the season. So we've only played 4. It's not the end of the world. I think the Browns should get healthier. They're getting healthier. Nick Chubb is actually coming back to practice this week, so super excited about that. I don't know when he's actually going to play, but it seems sooner than later. So Njoku's coming back. At some point in time, we got to get Jedrick Wills and Jack Conklin back. So Yeah, I mean, on the injury note, it's looking better for the Browns, but that can vary from week to week.
JT, I think you could. There's a problem in Cleveland that Nick won't argue with me over, and that's fine. I'm not going to sit here and beat it into the ground, but I have my own take on the Browns is that Stefanski just isn't the coach that everyone thinks that he is. He's not very clever. He doesn't have a very creative offensive scheme. When Browns fans clamor and get really comfortable and get weak in the knees over he was the coach of the year twice, let's not give that award more than what it is. That award simply says that the next man up was better than the guy that started or just as good as, and that the offense or defense didn't quite miss a beat. So when we hailed him for that, we should just give individual awards for the actual players that made that difference.
They're called Offensive Player of the Year, Defensive Player of the Year.
No. When a coach gets Coach of the Year, it's because his team was able to rise above all of their downfalls, all of their injuries, that the next man up, so on and so forth. That's what they get credit for. And I've always thought that was kind of skewed because I don't like that. Don't give the coach the award.
Kevin Stefanski got coach.
It should be a team award. It should be the Cleveland Browns coach. I'm sorry. It should be the Cleveland Browns award of the year. I don't like that the coach gets all the credit for all the guys that stepped up. It's not. I'm just not a fan of the Coach of the Year award. I think it's a participation trophy.
Kevin Stefanski got Coach of the Year last year because he did one of the best coaching jobs.
He did it. Joe Flacco came off the couch and took the Browns into the postseason. That was why he got Coach of the Year.
He didn't just win with Joe Flacco. He won with Deshaun Watson. He won with DTR. He won with PJ Walker. Like, it wasn't just
PJ Walker was trash.
He won 2 games with them.
That defense won him Coach of the Year. Miles Garrett.
Exactly. It's exactly right. This rewarding coaches for the next man up. I'm not good with that. I actually don't care for the Coach of the Year award. It means nothing to me. And the league in past years, guys have gotten fired for it. They got it and then they were fired. They're done.
Here's the thing.
So his scheme, Nick, his scheme is not creawe have a lot of talent and you guys don't utilize any of it. You don't get players open in space. We watch week in, week out. I watched Deshaun Watson just flail to this. The ball is out here and he runs. He just doesn't protect the football. He looks very sloppy.
He hasn't done a bad job protecting the football this year. There's one thing he hasn't done a bad job of. It's not protecting the football. He's been doing a good job of that. Like he had one interception. He had one interception last week, and that was only because Amari Cooper couldn't catch the ball.
Exactly, JT. Ain't it though?
One thing that Kevin Stefanski can't control. Now I will say this:
he can't control. Sit that motherfucker on the bench and pick the next man up, okay? Because he ain't it. That's well within his control. Let's not act like it's. You're paying this guy a boatload of money. You're paying this guy a boatload of money, and he's not distributing the football properly. He throws it low. He's erratic.
He actually played a really good game last week. Now, granted, it was the Raiders
against a bum team. I'm not giving anybody credit for beating bum teams.
Here's the thing. Stefanski hasn't done a good job of this. He did get guys open last year. He's not doing that this year. I don't know why. The only thing I could point to is that Alex Van Pelt was the offensive coordinator last year.
Yeah, Dorsey's dog shit.
And Dorsey is the
Dorsey
guy who
is dog shit.
I wasn't a super big fan of. I wasn't a fan of that hire. I don't know why we broke things down. I thought our offense was fine last year. Even with when you're talking about Joe Flacco or when you're talking about Deshaun Watson, our offense was fine. We were scoring like 20 some points a week with both of them. So I don't understand.
Flacco played better. Your offense was better with Flacco than Deshaun.
Exactly. It's this guy is not he keeps every time I say that, Nick reiterates with Deshaun Watson's numbers were ... Dude, stop with Deshaun Watson as the first word. He is just not a good quarterback, period.
Listen,
I've told you this
if you
time and
watch
time again.
Deshaun Watson,
you're 1-4 because of it.
And watch it
1-3, I'm sorry.
If you watch all the games that Deshaun Watson played last year and watch them objectively, you will see Deshaun Watson was actually a really good quarterback last year when he played.
What's up, Nick? Good to see you out there, buddy.
He was a really good quarterback. This year, the offense is just out of sync. Deshaun Watson hasn't been playing super well. He did play well last week. He played decent 2 weeks ago, but he had 2 stinkers in between those 2 games.
I have a little bit of a feel out there for the Browns fan base, and they are burning they are melting down. It is doom and gloom amongst the Cleveland Browns fan base, and rightfully
stupid ones. And you have stupid fans in every
time and time again. They give Deshaun Watson credit that he doesn't deserve, and a lot of folks aren't even giving him credit. They're actually asking him to get. They actually want him gone.
No, a lot of people are giving him credit for the way he played last week. He played very well. Statistically, objectively, he can't help that Amari Cooper doesn't catch a pass that's right in his breadbasket. Like that's Cooper's
he is
he can't help
the leader of that offense. It is his job to elevate those players. It is his job to make this offense work.
Amari Cooper, those are 2 great plays that Amari Cooper Amari Cooper fucked up on, but those are 2 plays that were great plays that were nixed. I mean, you can't. I mean,
you played the Raiders. You played the Raiders without their best defensive player and their best offensive player.
Yeah, we didn't play without 50% of our line. Yeah,
I get 30
it.
Plus.
I get it.
30 plus, and it's a good day.
I get it.
It's a good day.
I get it. We could have. I think we still should have beat the Raiders. I think we still had a chance to beat the Raiders, obviously. But let's not say that we were at full strength either.
At what point, though, are we going to keep making excuses for teams that are just butt cheeks and you're banged up? You have been banged up for 5 straight seasons. The Browns have been banged up.
I'm not making excuses for Cleveland. All right, they need to play better. I'm just saying.
What's up, Izzy? Good to see you, fam. Good to see you.
I'm just saying it's week 4. In terms of the Flacco Watson thing, listen, you're not going to get any objection with me to Flacco. I love Joe Flacco for what he did for us last year. But when it comes down to it, the Browns had a very top-heavy front half of the season and a very lax back half of the season. We played a bunch of bum teams. We played a Houston team that whooped our ass when they were at full strength, but when we
let's see what the points were that you put up in such a lax season, okay, Nick? Because the Browns were beating teams convincingly.
When we played Houston when they were down a couple players, we whooped the crap out of them. But then when we played them in the playoffs,
he was going over 300 yards almost every game.
Yes, he was.
And Flacco can do that. Like I said, you're not going to get any objection with me with Flacco. But
I don't think Deshaun has done that in 2 years.
No. Deshaun has barely broke 200 yards.
I mean, he did it a couple times last year.
I mean, this year. I'm talking about this year.
There's not too many people that broke 200 yards this year.
I got news for you.
A lot of people that broke 200 yards. And that's another thing we should talk about, too.
Brock Purdy right now leads the league in passing yards.
Mm-hmm.
He leads the league in historically having multiple 130 plus yard gain, or I'm sorry, 130 plus QBR rating. He is setting records at a great rate right now.
And you're 2-2.
That's okay. That's okay. I listen, my team this year by all means has not been pretty. Okay.
And I'm not saying it's Brock's fault that you're 2-2.
No. It's not Brock's fault. It's my special team. The special teams in San Francisco is dead last amongst 32 teams. And they have been among the bottom. They have been 30, 31, 32-ish. For the past few years, they've been dog water.
You did not lose your games because your special teams played bad.
we lost the Super Bowl because of our special teams. We could blame
That's not
them.
this year.
I can
You didn't
blame
win
them
the
for.
Super Bowl. You did not win the Super Bowl because of your special teams.
Yeah, absolutely.
You lost a Super
Yeah,
Bowl.
yeah.
Patrick Mahomes nutted up.
I'm not. I won't blame
And a
them
bad
solely,
call
but
by
they are. I
Shanahan.
won't blame them solely, but I blame them they contributed to that loss.
I watched that Super Bowl. I don't even know what the special teams did that makes you so mad.
Nick, you're getting too excited. We're back. The band is back together. It's not just you and me anymore. Just shut up.
I can't even play wrecking. I can't even play wrecking balls right now. You know how fucking helpless I feel.
I hate that. So
the wrecking. Listen, in that Rams loss, special teams were just sour. I mean, awful.
Like,
they allowed.
Bad?
What do you mean? What did they do? Don't come on the show and expect me to tell you.
I gotta be honest.
Research.
I gotta be honest.
Part.
I gotta be honest. I didn't see the Rams game. I was kind of following it on my phone, so I don't know what you're talking about. Enlighten me. What did they do that was so bad?
They took their foot off the gas.
On. Oh yeah, they took. Yeah, they dropped a punt return. That led to 7 in the Patriots game. In the Rams game, they allowed a fake punt to go for I don't know, I forget how many yards it was. Jake Moody missed a field goal. Dude, it's just Brian Schneider needs to be fired in San Francisco mid-season. Get me a new special teams coach, because I can't do it anymore. But look, the Niners have not played their best football yet. And I won't even just say that the Browns haven't played the league as a whole has not played their best football yet. Look at the Chiefs. Dude, Mahomes is sloppy as all hell. They haven't even, I don't even think they've scored 30 points yet this season. Look at the Ravens. The Ravens lost their first 3 games, right? Or are they 2-2? Are they 1-3? They're 2-2 now.
Right now.
Okay. The Bengals started out just atrocious. I mean, awful. Look at the Bills. The Bills just got spanked, dude.
Yeah, there's 2 teams that flummox me every year. The 2 teams that flummox me every year are the Buffalo Bills and the New Orleans Saints. Because I feel like those teams...
What's that word you're saying? What's that word you're saying right there?
You made that up.
Spell it.
F-L-U-M-O-X-E-D. Flummox.
Now, you know, the only way that term, you know what, Tony, here, I have a theory. Nick nearly killed a patient, and his supervisors used the word flummoxed when Nick nearly cost a patient their life. I guarantee it.
Not true.
There's 2 M's, by the way.
Okay.
Tim Church, in case Tim Church is out there, watch.
Oh my God.
So
listen, Nick, hold on a second.
It's amazing how these teams look so good, like dominant, and then they just
the Vikings look really good right now, and
Vikings look like the best team in the league right now.
It's arguable that they're not.
Well,
I mean,
it's just really good news that I'm no longer a Bills fan.
Really?
I forgot to tell you this. Tony dropped the Bills.
No shit.
He couldn't do it anymore.
Done.
So who did you adopt?
The Washington Commanders.
Oh, Meg, I knew it. I knew you were going to say that. I knew it.
He needs the team to start at the bottom and work to the top.
The only thing is they're working their way up way too fast, and I don't like it.
Working their way up way too fast. They might wax the Browns next week. I don't know.
For anybody that doesn't know this, Tony is the one. He's the one friend that I've had for many, many years that you could never call him a bandwagon fan, because Tony is always.
He's the reverse bandwagon.
He really doesn't ever really have a favorite team for a very long period of time. He really supports almost any team that is bad and that builds themselves up competitively. So Tony, it makes perfect sense that he is totally rooting on for the Commanders. I would expect nothing less. I wouldn't expect anything less.
Patrick Mahomes.
It's really impressive.
Patrick Mahomes knocked the fandom out of me for the Buffalo Bills to the point where I had to switch conferences.
He almost knocked the fandom out of John.
I don't know how he has.
I mean, I give him his credit. I am on the Kingdom Live podcast, giving him his flowers. I take nothing from him. I love Andy Reid. I don't care how many times Andy Reid. The funny thing about it is that Andy Reid is standing on the sideline doing the most damage to my team, and I blame the Chiefs. Like I just get so angry, but it's really, he's the genius behind it all. I mean, he is truly the genius behind it all. And you can't take nothing from him. I love Andy Reid. I don't give a damn what anybody says. Give credit where credit's due. They are champions. They're trying to three-peat. If they go out and get Tyreek Hill, if they bring Tyreek Hill back into the building, I don't. First of all,
said that was going to happen.
Oh, it's a rumor out there. Definitely. It's been reported. It's out there on the timeline. Again, you don't do anything. You just come on. I swear to God, you just wake up with last week's news on the top of your brain.
Yeah.
You don't prepare yourself for anything on this show. You just come in here, just spewing a bunch of nonsense. And it's just, I don't know. I don't even know how I tolerate it.
Devontae Adams asked for a trade today.
I just don't see the Raiders trading him within the division. That would be crazy. But I mean, listen, if they give if the Chiefs get what they're asking, I don't see it. I don't see it. You have to face them twice a year. You're going to give them Devontae. First of all, I don't even think Pierce even wants him there, because that dude, honestly, he has a pair paws that is bigger than life. That dude doesn't even care. If Devontae Adams says, I hate it in Las Vegas, I want to be traded, he's the first one to like that post and say, bye, let's see you later. I mean, you know what? He shares my mentality. I want nothing to do with you if you don't want to be here, period. I don't give a damn who you are. If you don't want to be here, toodaloo, bye. We'll shop you. We'll get what we can. And we'll see you later. But I don't see Adams to the Chiefs.
I can see him going to the Jets, being with Aaron Rodgers again.
That's a good segue to another thing I wanted to talk about. When are people going to start getting Aaron Rodgers shit? Because a lot of people give Deshaun Watson for sucking, because he sucks.
All right. Let me tell you something. If you're
Aaron
going to
Rodgers
say
is 40,
okay,
Deshaun Watson is supposed to be in the prime of his career still.
Aaron Rodgers gets paid more than Deshaun Watson.
I don't give a shit. He's better,
and nobody's talking about him sucking.
Where is he? Where is he? Where did I miss a fully guaranteed $250 million contract?
He doesn't. He signs 1 year fully guaranteed contracts for like $50 million.
When your quarterback has when your quarterback has stacked more games than court dates, we can talk, but do not sit here and compare Deshaun Watson to any quarterback actively throwing the football in this league.
I'm just saying he sucks right now, and nobody's talking about it.
Again, the funny thing about the Jets is that they're stacked on both sides of the ball. And coaching in New York is shit. Robert Saleh sucks as a head coach. I don't like it. I don't think that he and Rodgers are on the same page. And if your head coach and quarterback are not on the same page, then you're going to look a lot like Philly. Okay? Because Sirianni and Hurts, oh my God, that is vinegar and oil at its best.
I mean, it was at one point in time gold.
Nick,
garbage.
He's coming off of an Achilles, and he's like 40.
Okay.
So maybe he's just still dusting some cobwebs off, huh?
Okay. Deshaun Watson had a shoulder injury that basically.
Deshaun Watson's been out for really 4 years, 5 years. getting tug jobs and court dates, but he's not 40 though. This guy's 40.
Yeah.
You know what? You're so fucked up. I didn't miss this at all because of you. Like,
I mean, did you watch the Denver game, Nick?
I'm quickly reminded how much I fucking hate you. Quickly.
All right. The segue to another thing.
Oh.
This new kickoff rule
sucks.
I love it. It doesn't even bother me.
But I think it's changed the game an awful lot.
Why? You take your skill players and you put them in a position to make a play instead of taking your kick returner and having him run into a colossal human being running down the field, sometimes 2 or 3 colossal human beings. And the impact is instrumental. I would rather you kick the ball shorter distance, give your skill players an opportunity to make plays. I like it. We want to score points in this league.
Yeah, but it's the way teams are scoring points is weird because you have a shorter field to go. That's why I think that's the major reason why you're having all these low passing games. That's why you're having teams that are like struggling to get over 200 yards passing. It's not because of anything else, it's because of that kickoff rule.
I mean, listen, everybody's beating the table for a safer football. You're getting safer football.
I mean, it's safer, is better.
And eventually, if it gets enough bullshit, there's enough negative. Well, first of all, if Vegas feels like it's not working, then it goes. If Vegas feels like it's benefiting Vegas, it stays. And it doesn't give a shit what we say. Point blank, period.
I just love old kickoffs. Old kickoffs.
I mean, okay. You know what? It doesn't bother me either way. You still need to make plays.
I went to a Notre Dame football game this past weekend against Louisville. And
in Notre Dame?
In Notre Dame. And we were tailgating. And as we were tailgating, we started asking every single person we came across about the kickoff, the punt return or a home run. And not one person said the kick return.
But did they have John's electric speed, though?
His elusiveness in the open field.
Yes.
Like a mongoose.
Yes. Look, Nick, you can make all the jokes you want. My broken dead corpse at the feet of your left and right tackle, just my broken body at their feet would have done more to protect Deshaun than you guys have done in 3 weeks. Understand that.
We'll see that. We'll see. We'll see how that goes.
They will be tripping over my dead body, and still it gives him a little bit more time. And he holds on to the football way too long. So
he does. I agree with that.
Let's just forget about that. Steve-O says everyone is kicking field goals like 35%. Sounds like D over kickoff rule. Well,
I think kickers have gotten better. Like kickers are making 50-yarders like
63 yards.
I'm just saying 50 yards is like not a big field goal anymore. Like I remember when somebody kicked a 50-yarder like 15 years ago. It was like it wasn't a big deal, but it was like, oh man, that was a long field goal. Now that's
I think it was Sly that kicked a 63-yarder.
Yeah. Like I remember like when you were watching fantasy, like when your kicker got a 50-yarder, it was like gold. And now, like, your kickers are getting like 3 50-yarders in a game.
Yeah, they get cut when they miss a 50-yarder.
Like, I mean, it's ridiculous. But that's where we've gotten.
You guys missed one last week, right, John?
Yeah.
Yep.
Probably would have hit another one, but BA took a helmet to helmet at the end of the game. You know, when you're like doing that, like, you know, when you're when you're throwing it around, when you're doing the backward pass.
Yeah.
The you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, the lateral drill.
The laterals. When you're doing the laterals, you know, BA takes a helmet to helmet hard, bro. Which, if the refs were doing their fucking job, it would have it would have put the Niners in field goal position to essentially kick the winning.
Give you that shit.
I mean, okay, you don't have to, but I mean, let's just, you know, if the league is trying to save players and we're going to change the kickoff rule and we're going to protect the quarterbacks and all this other bullshit, then, you know, then call it where it counts.
I feel like on those plays, no one ever calls shit. It's just a melee. Hope you don't get injured.
Yeah, they're like
you know,
pissed. They're like almost pissed that you're doing it.
Well, it's entertaining. I'll give you that. We've done it twice now. It's been fucking hell of entertaining. I've enjoyed it. But that being said, that wasn't the opportunity for the Niners to win the game. The Niners lost the game because they couldn't stop the vertical threat. They just got burnt right over the top. 2 box safeties trying to play free safety. It's bad. They got work to do in the safety position. I really want Tayshaun Gibson back really bad. And I guess he's suspended on the Jags roster. So, you know, if they
like PEDs or PEDs or something like that.
Yeah, I think so. I don't know. Whatever. Just telling the Niners, just go back and get them. Just
you guys
fucking
won.
Get them.
You guys won, right?
Last week they did. He was talking about the week before.
It's the Rams game, Tony. Like the Rams game. No Puka Nacua. No, no Cooper Kupp. And a few others. Like they were missing players all over the place. I think they had 8 players down, and we had quite a few missing too, but not to the extent we should have won that game. And we were winning that game in its entirety until we couldn't in the fourth quarter. They just came back and just
took their foot off the gas, man. I've seen Shanahan teams do that a lot, actually.
It was bullshit, but nonetheless, you know, I don't see the number 1 seed coming to San Francisco this year unless they do something incredible and win, you know, 6 straight.
I don't know. I don't know who's good yet in the NFC. I mean, I think the Vikings aren't. I keep shit.
I mean, they're up here, right? Like the Vikings are up here right now.
The Vikings have the best receiving core in the league right now.
Maybe the best quarterback in the league.
That is unbearable for me to say.
Are you guys upset that you guys didn't keep Sam Darnold?
No. You know what though? Here's the thing. It's just credit to coming. It's just I feel better as a Niner fan knowing that he left San Francisco better than he came.
Yeah.
He's better for it. So we'll take that praise and it is what it is. Like Sam will come back down to earth. He'll eventually make Sam Darnold will come back from space. But if he keeps it up, like Nick says down here, if he keeps it up, it will be interesting to see. It really will.
I think he will keep it up. I mean, maybe not to necessarily the extent he's keeping it up right now, but like
O'Donnell's a hell of a coach. He's a hell of a coach.
Those receivers he has the best receiving core in the league. Like JJ's awesome. Obviously, everyone knows that.
Yeah.
But Addison's good. Addison's really, really, really good. And
Addison just came back from an injury.
Yeah.
So they're going to get better.
I think he scored a touchdown last week.
Naylor.
That Naylor kid's awesome too.
He's a Spartan.
Why aren't the Spartans better if they have all these good players?
Because they don't. You just happen to mention the 2 that they had.
They just have like one every year.
They have one every year.
Kenneth Walker. It was a couple years ago.
The Packers are probably the one team that was within the division there. They played them very good the other day. Jordan Love coming back. That was a good game. That was a good game. No, you guys watch any of it?
They just end up Packers. What's that?
They beat them 31-29. They did come back.
Packers came back, but they were whooping the shit out of them earlier.
Darnold threw for 275, 3 touchdowns, 1 interception. He was 20 for 28.
Mm-hmm.
Jordan Love was pretty insane. 32 of 54, 389 yards, 4 touchdowns, 3 picks.
So after 4 weeks of the NFL season, if you had to pick a Super Bowl, who would be in the Super Bowl this year? After 4 weeks,
Oh,
you had to put your house on it.
I mean, I think if you're going to do the NFC Championship game, I think you would have the Lions and the Vikings there. And for the AFC, I think you would have Mahomes and probably I was going to say, wow. Would you say the Ravens?
I wouldn't say the Ravens.
Would you say Houston?
I'd rather
AFC Championship game. If it was this week, who would be in the AFC Championship game?
I'd say Houston over the Ravens.
I mean,
no Buffalo.
I'm cheating. Buffalo just like they're like the Saints to me. They
What do you got to do? What do you got to do right now? Hold on, time out. What do you have to do right now? Google Teams?
Yeah.
What are you Googling?
I mean, it's 4 weeks. What have you been doing?
I'm Googling. I don't have it all stored up in here.
I mean, don't you know what's going on around the league?
You're that bad with this?
I mean, you're 0-4 in fantasy, so this makes sense. I mean, keep carrying on. Go ahead.
In our league, I'm 2-2 with a massive victory over the unbeaten Carter team.
You got fucking lucky. You're the only one in the world.
You got fucking lucky for coming that close. Derrick Henry, 200 yards, 3 touchdowns or 2 touchdowns.
You're the only person in the world that beat Derrick Henry this week.
So honestly, who do you have in the AFC Championship game after 4 weeks?
I mean, it's gonna be not sexy for what I'm about to say.
Are the Ravens picking up steam? Are they getting into form?
No, I don't think they are.
I mean, I don't expect.
I think they just beat Buffalo in the week they decided to lay the egg, because that's what Buffalo and the Saints do. They play dominant.
They were a toenail away from beating the Chiefs. They took their foot off the gas against the Las Vegas Raiders. They were up 17 points against those assholes. So that should have been 2-0. They destroyed the Buffalo Bills and kind of sort of destroyed the Cowboys. The final score ended up being ridiculously close, but they kind of destroyed the Cowboys too. So they could easily be 4-0 with very huge decisive wins. I'd probably go Baltimore. It's going to be Baltimore, Kansas City.
Yeah. I mean, if we were doing this after 4 weeks, I would say so. Lamar looked very good against that Bills defense. The Bills, I don't know. I don't know, man. I don't know. I do love Josh Allen. I think he's a great quarterback. But again, they surprised me going into this season. If you told me, Tony, name me 3 receivers from the Buffalo Bills, I couldn't do it during week 1. I couldn't do it. That said, I don't know. Like, I still don't know. I don't know what they're going to do with that secondary. I feel like it's I don't know. Damar Hamlin, it is what it is. We really won't go into it. Steve-O says that KC lost 3 guys. He's taking them out. I don't know, man. I don't know. They still find ways to win, Steve-O. That's the thing. Like, if there's anything you can say about Mahomes is that he elevates his receivers. They won a championship with below average talent.
Yeah,
at the receiver position.
Kelsey's just going to take up the slack now.
No,
I don't know. He's not having a very good season right now.
He had a good game last week. Conveniently,
Xavier Worthy will come right back in, pick up the slack. whenever Hollywood Brown comes back. That's it. Is he?
I don't think Hollywood. I think he's out for the season.
Well, man, we got who's Anthony? We got Anthony Colbreth in here.
And Anthony, what's up, buddy? Good to see you there, brother.
Out the Chiefs. It's going to be the Texans and the Ravens.
No, I don't have that, Anthony. I mean, they don't have anybody catching the ball right now, brother. And Herbert looks terrible under what's his face is the offensive coordinator now. Say his name. He was former OC for the Ravens. He was a Niners OC back with Kaepernick. What's his name? Slipping me.
Roman?
Yes, Greg Roman. Yep. He's doing Herbert no justice right now. So there's growth there with the Chargers. I think it's, we were just, Anthony, I don't know when you got here, brother, but we were just talking about through the first 4 weeks, if you had to pick an NFC championship and AFC championship game, who would you put in both of those championship games? I just want to kind of see where you guys gauge each conference right now, because the league is kind of, it's, I don't know. Do you guys feel as a whole that the league has a really weird vibe going on right now? Right. I feel like it's not really, it does, right? Every team is banged up right now, with the exception of the Vikings, I think.
I also don't feel like there's a complete front runner. Even after 4 weeks, I don't feel like there's a team that's just running away with it. I
think that the Ravens are going to shape up to potentially still win your division. I still have them winning your division. I believe they will.
I still think the Browns, healthy, can win that division easily.
I know, but the Browns aren't healthy, so we have to stop saying what we think they would do if they were. It's just, what are you doing now? Right now, you're losing.
They're getting
1-3.
They're not.
You're 1-3.
They're not really that not healthy, Nick.
They
fucking stink.
Are you kidding me? They're not. Are you kidding me?
No, like who are they missing? Like the starting quarterback? Like what? Like they stink, bro.
They're missing Flacco. They're missing Njoku. They're missing the right tackle. They're missing the left tackle. They're missing the right guard. They're missing left guard. But we've been singing the song for 5 seasons. Yeah. 5 seasons we've been singing the song about the offensive line. So
even Myles Garrett's banged up, which I wouldn't have played him last week. I would have had him rest. But
what's up, Laney? I see you there.
Looked hobbled. Somehow got 2 sacks.
Laney, how are you? Miss you, Laney.
We're missing Nick. We're missing Bo. We're missing the crew out there, man. Send my best to the family over there. Look, here's the thing. Eduardo says the Browns aren't winning that division. They got a lot of ground to cover, and they got to do it quick. And the schedule's not getting any easier for you guys. The schedule's not getting any easier for any of us. No, Tony, as the new Commanders fan, how do you like Jaden Daniels? Tell me, how do you like him?
That kid is so sick. That kid is so sick.
He's
breaking records for like the highest percentage of completions, and it's not like he's just throwing 2 and completing 2. You know, he's throwing the ball 28 times, completing 26 of them. Like he's
airing it out,
amazing, airing it out,
yeah,
running his ass off. He just looks real good and really quick. This is only his 4th game, and he dominated the week before against the Bengals on Monday night, dude. Like what rookie just goes in on Monday night on the road and dominates like that? So
does it concern you? Does it concern you that they were dumbing down the offense for him a little bit during that Bengals game? They were calling more of like a
he just made the decision to be a Commanders fan like this past week.
Yeah, don't get into specifics.
Him at all.
Okay, so
don't get into specifics now.
Let's see how he does.
You see how he's more excited. You see how he's more excited to talk about the Commanders than he was the Bills, though.
Yeah, I'm not going to be able to.
The Browns let him down, or the Bills. I'm sorry, the Bills let him down. They let him down.
I'm not going to be able to do like Izzy shit and talk about like the backup punters and shit like that. Like all I'm
Give
saying
it
is
some
like
time.
it's like Terry McLaurin, Brian Robinson, and Jaden Daniels. Outside of those guys, don't ask me shit.
How is Brian Robinson any good?
How is he?
How is he any good? Because he wasn't really that good. And
turn on the TV, watch a game from time to time there, Nick.
No, I've seen him.
When was he
really
not good?
He wasn't really good last year.
Yes, he was.
They've bulked up that offensive line, dude.
He was. I don't know what else to tell you. I'll look up his stats for you.
I don't think he had over 1,000.
Okay.
He did have Antonio Gibson.
I think he was hurt.
When's Chubb coming back, Nick?
So he's actually cleared to practice this week.
Whether they open his practice window. So they open the window, but you don't know if he'll actually get on the ground running.
He's gonna practice this week. Stefanski already said they're like he's practicing this week. Whether or not he plays next week is a different story, but he is practicing this week. So he's going to be back within the next week or two, at the most 3. So that's a good thing.
I got CMC and Ford too, Steve-O. It's not a bad thing. Ford's not bad, man. He's running behind a bust out offensive line right now, which kind of annoys me. But again, that's just the Browns constantly bust out offensive line, always injured.
Just the bust out offensive line. There's a problem I have with Ford. Like I like Ford. He's not bad, but he dances around too fucking much, and he doesn't hit the holes as quick as he should. He doesn't have great vision. That's the thing.
I mean, he's doing better at times. I mean, again, you need a good run game coordinator. You guys let him go. That was a shock to me. Your running backs coordinator, coach, whatever his name was, say his name, Nick.
Are you talking about the guy with the beard?
He'd been with you guys for a long time.
Scoop Mitchell, or I think his name is.
Scoop Mitchell, yeah, something like that.
He was the run game coordinator. I think he was the running backs coach. I think Van Pelt was the run game coordinator as the offensive coordinator. Either that or Callahan was as the offensive line coach.
Whatever. It is. I do miss seeing Chubb run, man.
Stump Mitchell was his name.
Stump.
Yep. But yeah, he wasn't the
there he is. What's up, Bo? Tony, this is a guy who's missed your face for a very long time. Bo has missed you. Nick has missed you. Scott has missed you. The band is back together, Bo. We're just hanging out here tonight, chopping it up. Bo, answer me this. Through the first 4 weeks of football, who would you put in an NFC championship matchup and an AFC championship matchup through these first 4 weeks?
Here we go. Do you even have to ask him?
No. You know what? Bo is he shoots it straight. I mean, make no mistake. He's
straight as an 8.
We've all missed Tony, says Laney. We have. That is a fact.
Wait till next week when Tony gets a soundboard back.
Oh
yeah,
fucking soundboard.
I mean, does coming back make you a little bit more anxious to get that soundboard back in action, Tony? Like, are you looking forward to next week potentially?
So I had this whole thing. So he said Ravens, Chiefs, Detroit 49ers.
So we actually had Detroit and the Vikings, Bo. I actually put the Vikings over my Niners in that regard, but we did agree on the Ravens, Chiefs.
I say Houston, Chiefs, and I say Lions, Vikings.
Lions, Vikings. There he is. What's up, Big Doug? Good to see you, buddy. There's my dude.
Big Doug. You know, it's almost time for our Halloween show.
You guys, dude, I will tell you. Listen, Tony, I don't think I have ever laughed harder. I don't think I have ever laughed harder than the week of our Christmas show and the Halloween show. But the Christmas show, when Nick took the tour of that godforsaken property, I swear to God, dude, I don't think I have
forgot
ever
about
laughed.
that.
I mean, dude, I put the Halloween show and the Christmas show was probably, dude, we could have been famous after the Christmas show.
I got a sweet Halloween costume I'm gonna buy.
And here's the thing: do you guys ever think that we tipped off the Pat McAfee show? Do you think that we kind of they kind of watched, somebody kind of caught our show and they were just closer to the big shots at ESPN than we are. And
he's definitely up us.
There's times where I feel like we could easily be the Pat McAfee show.
Yeah.
Like if we
just had to be an NFL punter before.
No, Steve-O, it was not me that called the cops on myself. That was Nick.
That was me.
Yeah, that was definitely Nick. Nick, he was his own bad guy in that day.
The best was like, it wasn't the Christmas show when he did the tour of his house. So I want to find which show it actually was.
It was like a week. It was like a week or two before the Christmas show.
And I think if I remember correctly, as he was going through the house, I kept playing the Hillbilly Banjo.
Dude, the sound effects were cue that day. I mean, listen, that was probably one of my favorite. I remember laughing until my stomach hurt from that show.
Do we get copyrighted on the Dueling Banjos?
I mean, listen, I told you, we have more strikes than Nolan Ryan.
And then
and still we have a platform.
The Halloween one, John, there's a part on that Halloween one when you got a wrecking ball and that stupid chicken costume you were wearing, like it's like it was a rooster.
Yes,
its little thing started shaking. It looked like a little ball sack. Oh my God, it was unbelievable.
The crazy thing is that the chicken, everything from here, dude, it was, I couldn't sit in my chair. It had a motor in it with a fan that blew it up. I was seeping air at one point. I needed my wife to come and seal it up, tape it shut. I kept losing. Oh, dude, what a shit show. But Nick, I think the Christmas show would have honestly put us on the map. I think it would have put us on the map. We could have been famous from that show. I think
if anyone saw that show, they would definitely have fun.
You would have never made it on NBC or ABC or whatever channel that is, or whatever the show is called. You would never have made it there. But if you stepped up your game with some drones, you might gain some traction.
With some drones.
We should have gone viral. That's right, Nick. We should have gone viral. That there was a chance that we could have. We still might. I mean, that episode's out there somewhere.
So
it's not out there somewhere. It's out there on our channel, our YouTube channel. You can literally go watch it right now.
We should push it.
We
should push it in shorts. Like we need to cut that episode up and push it as shorts on YouTube or TikTok or wherever you guys are watching your shorts and see what it does. It might actually gain some traction.
I've tried a million times with these shorts. It's Nick's Christmas lights.
No. Well, guess what? In about a month from now, they will be.
Are you kidding me? In April, he still had a Valentine's Day decoration up at the front door. He still had extension cords all bound up in bundles outside, just sitting there like a hillbilly.
Lawn ornaments out. I did take the lawn ornaments out, but I did leave the extension cords all on my yard.
I went to his house. I went to his house, JT, in August to go golf, and I walked around his house, and it looked like the fucking Easter bunny was just there. There was salt shakers of little bunny rabbits. It's like Happy Easter everywhere. I'm like, bro, that was 4 months ago Easter. What are you doing? He's like, yeah, it's I know it's bad this year.
It's bad this year. Like, what's bad? Like what? Your inability to give a damn. That's what's bad.
We saw a girl at the golf place. She was checking us out, like ringing us up for our totals. And we asked we were getting some hot dogs, and she was getting the hot dogs for us. I said, you know what? Let me ask you something. She was a cute girl. I said, if you were to go home with a guy, you know, this being towards the end of August, if you were to go home with a guy, you met him at the bar, and he went home with them, and there was just Easter shit up everywhere. What would you think? She's like, I'd run out of there because I think you'd kidnap me. I said,
oh my God.
Thank you for affirming.
Thank you. Nick, take your shit down.
Did either one of you catch the episode of the Kingdom Live podcast where I cashed in my bet with the fellas? I had to eat the hot sauce. I took a Tony, do you know what a soup spoon is? Not the little round soup spoon, but like I guess most kitchens would call it a kitchen spoon. It is double the size of a tablespoon. It's a massive spoon. Some call it a spaghetti spoon or a pasta spoon. It's got a big
one really abnormally large spoon.
It is.
It's a big fucking spoon. Okay.
Okay. Fair enough. So
it looks like every other spoon, but just bigger.
So Lainey was in the chat, and she said, John, please don't do that. She asked me nicely, and then she said it again with exclamation points. She said, don't do that. So me, like the fuckface that I am, I do exactly the opposite. And I took that sauce. Mind you, it was 1 year, one month past the expiration. Okay. And Tony, when I say to you, it went down. It went down a little more tolerable, I would say, than the wings, but the amount caught up with me about, I don't know, 30 minutes after we got off camera. I got so sick to my stomach. Like when I say to you, I honestly thought that something was going to rupture in my stomach. Dude, I was bloated. To here, bro. I mean, bloated in a way. I have never seen my stomach rounded out that much. I thought something was going to burst. I thought appendix is going to blow. Intestines are bleeding. I mean, I thought that, like, it felt so insanely uncomfortable. I got so sick, dude. I was drinking milk. I was drinking Pepto, Mylanta. I put things down my throat that didn't even last minutes. Everything came up. The kids were upstairs. Carter was like, "Are you okay?" And I was sweating, dude. I paid dearly for that stupid fucking sauce that I ate. And to think that there's hotter sauces than that. I mean, but this is the kicker. This is the best part of that night. The fellas also ate hot. I mean, Nick brought out his Reapers that he grew. He grew peppers. This dude grew hot peppers. Bo was drinking. What the hell was Bo? What the hell did you have? My lips looked like the Rolling Stones logo. They were so red. It was like they were as red as my hoodie right now. I promise you that. No hesitation. I mean, I'm not being dramatic. Nick had
the bomb, right?
No. Nick had his homegrown Reapers. Bo had something. Tony, they had glasses. Nick salsa ghost peppers. That's what they were. You know what? Do you know what Scott contributed with? Are you fucking ready for this? A Taco Bell hot sauce packet.
That's
He was like, dude, he wasn't even ready.
Scott.
He wasn't ready. I don't think that's Scott. Yeah, it was fire sauce. I don't think Scott thought that yes, he did. He did the bomb. Yeah, that's it. I was wrong. Anyway, doesn't matter. Hats off to those guys, dude. They joined me in it, but here's the thing. They each had a glass, a homemade glass that said Niners Tears. Scott's was filled with coins. Nick and Bo chased their hot with they chased it with milk, I think it was. It was funny. It was a great listen. It was a good time. I enjoyed that episode. That was a surprise. I didn't expect them to join me in it. It was pretty cool. But I paid with my life.
How was that on the way out, by the way?
Nick, it never made it out. It came up. I was puking my brains out for like 15 minutes straight, dude. I was puking. I got it. It was bad, dude. Do you know what the crazy thing is? I was scared for it to come up, but I wanted it to, dude. It was just one of those things that, like, Nick, I'm telling you right now, my stomach, if you'd seen me, you would have said, John, that doesn't look good. I was just bloated in a way that I eventually passed out on the living room floor in my gutchies. That was it. I thought I was going to go to the ER. I mean that.
The thing that sucks.
Should have just spilled it. Okay. Or rub my lips in it.
The thing that sucks about that is until that son of a bitch Mahomes retires, we're never going to be able to get our full revenge on these guys. Because they're just going to keep knocking the teams out that we want to win and that we bet on. So
they started out kind of sloppy last year. They won the Super Bowl. It's not any surprise to me that they are 3-0 right now. Or 4-0. Are they 4-0? 4-0. Yep. Yeah, 4-0. What am I saying? It's no surprise to me. I just want to get my team healthy. And I want we play them week. Yeah, what week do we play them?
You guys play the Chiefs this year?
Yeah, we do. Yep. Let me just look.
Browns also play the Chiefs this year.
I'm not looking forward to that. I don't care.
No, I'm looking forward to that.
I know you are.
Do the Commanders play the Chiefs?
Oh, yeah.
Do the Commanders play the Chiefs?
What week is that? That's week 7. It's
probably
week 7.
Not. They probably
week
don't.
7.
The Chiefs probably play the they're probably playing the 49ers division. NFC West.
Laney, you have that glass too? Damn it. What did you got? What were they handing those out at the parade?
Oh, yeah.
Jesus.
Probably handing those out in Vegas.
So I have this whole thing in my mind, right?
Yeah.
Pete Rose knows that as long as he's alive, they will never put him in the Baseball Hall of Fame, right?
Mm-hmm. Uh-huh.
So he fakes his death, puts it out on all the social media, right?
Yeah.
They end up putting him in the Hall of Fame. And during the enshrinement, you hear the Undertaker, like, theme music starting to go off. And then he just, like, appears out of nowhere. And he's there to, like, get his ultimate revenge on baseball. Thoughts?
It would have made more sense if he was, like, a little younger. It's like 82.
I mean, I don't. I that's a hot take, Tony. That's a good one.
What's your thoughts on that? You think he should be in, or you think he should be in, or should be out?
Me?
He should be in.
Yeah, both of you.
I think he should be in 100%.
Yeah, I mean,
is Michael Jordan in the Hall of Fame?
Yes.
Yep.
I got news for you, motherfuckers. If you think Michael Jordan didn't do as much shit as Pete Rose did, you're out of your fucking mind.
Probably. Is there anything? Here's my question: is there anything that a player could do where they shouldn't, like, personally? Now, granted, Pete Rose's was like kind of, they say it's intertwined with the sports, but is there anything that a player could do that their personal life that takes away from their athletic achievements?
Is OJ in the Hall of Fame?
I think he is. I think he made it far before that ever happened.
Don't you think they could take people out?
They probably could, but I don't think
If
they
you
did.
if you stop people from going in for personal shit, you should be able to take people out afterwards for personal shit.
Do you think
Right or
OJ
wrong?
should be taken out?
No. I'm just
No,
I'm
I don't think so either. Because I separate the two. That's how I do things. I separate the two. Like I think your athletic life is your athletic life, and your personal life is your personal life. You could be a complete terrible person in your personal life, but if you've achieved a certain level of athleticism, of athletic achievement, and you're worthy of being in the Hall of Fame, I think you should be there. You can put an asterisk. They can put on your plaque that you're a terrible person, but I still think you as the player should be in there.
Like if they hit a button and the button like tells you about that person, like, oh,
yeah,
Lawrence Taylor led the league in sacks in 1990, 1991, 1992, and oh, he was also a crackhead.
Yeah, exactly.
Who cares?
Yeah,
I'm not. He's not like
OJ, first person to rush for 2,000 yards, killed his wife. Like,
also killed his wife.
Also, was an armed robber as well.
I mean, like, think about Kobe. Remember, Kobe's record wasn't squeaky clean back in the day.
I mean, it got swept under the rug eventually, but like, he was. They said he raped the girl. I mean, let's put it out there.
Raped the girl in Denver.
Paid her a bunch of money to stay quiet.
Kobe Bryant was one of the most loved people by the time he passed away.
Mm-hmm.
He was one of the most loved sports athletes of like all time, because that shit just gets like, you start winning.
Yeah.
It's almost like people get fucked when they become a bad person after sports. If you do it while you're in it, people can, depending on how good you are, people can forget about shit.
If Deshaun Watson won the Browns the Super Bowl, he'd be a god in the city.
He'd still be an asshole.
Yeah, whatever.
And you would be too.
I totally accept that.
Anthony says Barry Bonds will never be in the Hall of Fame, or Roger Craig.
Why not Roger Craig?
Yeah, Roger Craig didn't do anything wrong. If you asked me, was Roger Craig a good guy or a bad guy, I would say good.
I think he's just one of those fringe guys. I think that's what he means. Like, I think, I don't think Roger Craig is like really good enough to be in the Hall of Fame, though. I mean, there's an argument to be made for him, but like, was he ever really like the top 3 running backs in the league that he, like, every year he played? No, he was never. There's always Emmitt Smith or Dickerson.
I was surprised to hear that Hines Ward wasn't in the Hall of Fame.
Really? Another fringe guy. I mean, I don't think he was ever.
Hines Ward was a fringe guy? Damn.
I don't think he had the stats. I don't think he had the stats to go in.
So Roger Craig, Nick, he ranks 46th all time with 8,100 yards rushing and 47th in yards from scrimmage at 13,100.
Okay.
And he appeared he won three Super Bowls. So, I mean, I think he should be in. I think he should be in.
Like I said, fringe. He's fringe. I mean,
I think that's the problem. I think
if they said Roger Craig is inducted to the NFL Football Hall of Fame, I would not be dismayed at that.
He was a semifinalist. I think he was a semifinalist for 2024.
Now, I would say he's not. I would say he never was one of the top 3 running backs in the league when he played.
Randy Gradshar and Steve McMichael and Art Powell were the finalists for the 2024.
I kind of find it weird that Steve McMichael was really that good?
So Hines Ward had 1,000 catches, 12,000 yards, 86 touchdowns, 4 Pro Bowls, and I'm pretty sure he won 2 Super Bowls, right?
Yeah.
Who did you just say?
Hines Ward.
Oh, yeah.
Another guy that's kind of fringe, but I would even put him more on the outside than a guy like Craig.
But he did all that on a team that didn't pass the ball. Like, that wasn't their thing. And
that's
he would
true.
block. His blocking probably should have got him to the Hall of Fame by itself.
Yeah. So the blocking is the one thing, because people are going to look past that, even though it's probably a lot more important than it actually came out to being. But he really was never the number 1 receiver on his team in terms of catching the ball. Like, they always had, like, Plexico Burris was better. And then who else? I can't think of that dude's name. But I think there was like 1 year where Hines Ward was and I think that was like 2003. Where he was like the main catcher of the football on that. But like I said, Plexico Burris. I don't know if I'm pretty sure he probably played with Antonio Brown a little bit, maybe. Who was the other?
Look, it's kind of crazy. I mean, when you think about the fringe players, when you think about the fringe players that didn't make it, it's kind of nuts. I mean, Roger Craig probably should have a place. He had 1,000 yards rushing and 1,000 yards receiving in the same season. Dude was a 4-time Pro Bowler. He won three Super Bowls with the Niners. He was an all-decade team in the 80s. And he appeared in the NFL playoffs all 11 years of his career. That's kind of crazy that he's not in.
Fringe. I mean, like I said, if you told me he made it, I'd be like, oh man, that's good for Roger
Anthony,
Craig.
why do you think he's being blackballed, though? I don't understand. What am I missing?
I don't think they have any reason to blackball Roger Craig.
You think that it's just a Niners bias, or did something happen that I just don't remember?
There's no Niners bias when it comes to Hall of Fame. There's like 1 billion Niners in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, Niner bias.
The Niners are not lacking for Hall of Fame players, especially from those 80s teams.
Nick, I have to admit something.
What?
I looked up Brian Robinson's stats for last year, and he wasn't that good. So I take back everything I said. You were correct on that one.
Yeah, he wasn't that good. Like, he looks amazing now.
It's because I started liking him.
He's breaking tackles. He's juking people. He's getting like 6 yards of carry. Like, he looks good.
He looks good.
That's what I thought the downfall of the Redskins was going to be. I was like, how are they going to have like a really good run game? I was like, their offensive line can't really be that good.
Technically, that term's pretty offensive. So we'd like to just stay with Commanders and not the red word you just said.
Whatever. Whatevs.
Well, I'll tell you what, fellas. I had a blast. I know it's 11 o'clock. I have to wake up in a few hours for work.
Yeah, we should call. We should call it. We should call it a night.
We can. I think we covered everything. We talked about this. Von Miller's suspended for PEDs.
Who doesn't know?
What else did we talk about? What else did we talk? We touched on everything. Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
I think look, it's been a weird 4 weeks of football. So I will end saying this. I'm excited to play the Cardinals coming up this week. I think it's going to be a big test for my secondary and for this team in general. After that, we have a short turnaround in a Thursday night game versus the Seahawks, which I don't know if you guys watched the Seahawks Detroit game last night. It was a fucking good game. The Seahawks were without 4 offensive linemen last night, and Geno was balling. He was.
Man.
It was a good game. I mean, it definitely woke me up a little bit. The Lions are exactly who I thought they were, but I will say this: the Niners are going to play 2 very tough teams in a very short week turnaround. So, Nick, who do you guys have Sunday?
We have the Commanders.
Oh, you're going to get. That's right. You're going to get beat.
Tony
You're going to
head
get
to
beat
head.
bad. What time is that game? Is that a 1:00 game?
That I don't know. I would guess.
I'm just curious.
Probably.
I'm curious because it would be funny to see you guys at halftime jump on here and talk about how it's going.
I'll tell you here in a second.
Everybody in the chat, I
1 o'clock,
appreciate you
1 o'clock.
guys. We appreciate you guys for stopping out. Everybody from the Kingdom Live podcast, appreciate you all. Laney, good night. Thank you for stopping by. Bo, Nick, Scott, we missed you, buddy. I hope you're well.
I saw Izzy in there earlier.
Steve-O,
Izzy.
thanks for stopping by. Anthony, Eduardo, Izzy, we appreciate you guys and all your support. JT, he's a real one, man. We're hoping you're doing well out there. Yeah, just thanks for stopping by. Thank you for continuing to support this channel. It has been a rough start for us, but we finally got back in the action. Tony, it's been good to see you, bro. I hope you'll join us again, my man. Hope to see you more frequently on this channel.
The kid's about to graduate college now, so it's good.
The kid can fucking walk. The kid can change his own diaper now.
We're good. We're good. All right, fam. As always, we appreciate you guys. Fellas, take care of yourselves. Have a good week. We'll see you soon. Peace.
Bye.